going to understand different MCQs that is related to module B. Okay, so heartily welcome to all the bankers in this session. So before to begin this class, like this video if you are liking our efforts. Okay, and this is your accounting and finance for bankers, and this class is for this class would be on the English medium, right? So before to begin this session, I would like to say download Adda 247 application if you are new, and subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel so that you can get regular update from our side. Okay. So one update also I would like to say, our target batch is going to start from this week, that is 16th of April. So this is the right time when you should just enroll in this batch, because in this batch you are going to get everything. That is fully exam oriented classes, and you are going to get the 3 physical books, as well as you are going to get 84 mock tests, you are going to get 82 e-books, as well as a 130 hours live classes. Okay, and that is, I think, more than sufficient. And we actually prepared you for not only for the 50 marks, we actually prepared you for 80 plus 90 plus marks. Okay, so these classes are fully exam oriented, not at all a boring classes you are going to get. Okay, so PPB classes and LRB classes going to start from the 18th of April, and your AP class is going to start from the 16th of April. So just enroll fast. And one more important thing, that do not forget to use the code Y422, whether you want to enroll in the batches, whether you want to enroll in the test series, whether you want to enroll in the your ebooks. Okay, so whatever you want to purchase, just use the code Y422, so you just do not have to pay the full amount. Okay, so please do not pay the full amount, use the code Y422, and you can avail up to 80% discount on the batches, mock test ebooks. Okay, so let's start today class. Okay, so the first question that is related to your bill of exchange. So whenever we are talking about the bill of exchange, what we understand, like I always explained you, there are certain things that you always have to remember in the bill of exchange. Actually, 3 parties involved. One party that is named a drawer, another party that is named as a drawee, and the third party that is named as a pay, right? So when a bill of exchange is paid before due date. Okay, in the yesterday sessions we actually understand when the bill of exchange is paid on due date, so what it is called, then we understand that then it is called the honored. Okay, but whenever a bill of exchange is paid before due date, what it's called, just tell me what would be the answer of this question. This is very obvious, yeah, because we actually understand. Just a minute. So what would be the answer of this question? When a bill of exchange is paid before due date, it is called retired. The right option, that is B. Okay, the correct option, that is B of this question. When a bill of exchange is paid on due date, it is understand as a honored. When a bill of exchange is paid before due date, it is known as the retired. Okay, so this is a very important thing that you have to understand, because from the bill of exchange you are going to get multiple questions in the examination, and that is a very important thing. I am hoping that everyone just understand this. Okay, now come to the next question. What will be the due date for a bill dated 24 September 2021 and it is payable 90 days after date? Okay, so how to calculate these kind of the questions? And these kind of the questions we are going to get in the examination, that is of the 2 marks. Okay, so just tell me what would be the answer of this. So look, understand that how to calculate this. Suppose that this is given like 24 September 2021. All right. Okay. So this is actually given here. So how to calculate this? So whenever like the question is like when you have to just find out the due date and the bill date is given. So you always have to understand that on the due date you actually have to add 3 grace days. All right. So this is actually your due date, and you have to add the 3 days of the grace period, and that is known as actually your maybe the due date, right? So how to calculate this? So suppose that the date is given like 24 September 2021, and how to calculate this? So you can just understand that September month is of the 30 days, so that means 25 to 30, that will be equal to your 6 days, right? Okay, and October, November and December, right? So October is a month of how many days? That is 31. November is a month of the how many days? That is 30. And December is a month of how many days? That is 31. All right. But you can just calculate here, that is 6 plus 31, that is 37, and 37 plus 30, that is 67. But you need only 90 days. That means if you add just 23, that would be just become the 90 days. That means on December 23, that would be your due date. All right. But the question is not ending here. You have to just tell here that is what will be the due date. And you know that if you that for the due date, for arriving to the due date, you have to add 3 grace periods. Okay. And after adding the 3 grace period, what would be your answer? That is 26 December 2021. That would be the correct answer of this question. I am hoping that everyone just understand this, because this is a very important question for your exam point of view. All right. So what you have to do, just calculate like this. And you can also calculate like this when you have to just calculate like this. Like suppose that the bill date is given. Okay, so 24 September is given, so just calculate from the next day. So 25 to 30, that actually would be the 6 days. Okay. And if I'm talking about like October is a month of the 30 days, October is a month of the 31 days, November is a month of the 30 days, and December is again the month of the 31 days. If I'm adding every days here, so that would actually become the 9, 3 plus 3 plus 3, that is 9, and 92, 98 days. But you actually need the 90 days. That means you have to subtract the 8 days, okay, from the December. That means you can arrive on to the like 23rd December, and now you have to add the 3 days of the grace period, and that would become the 26th of December. This is how we actually calculate in the examination. Okay, so both methods you can apply. So question is, which accounting standard related to government grants? Okay, so there are multiple options are given. So just tell me what would be the answer of this question. Just quickly tell me. That is, which accounting standard related to government grants. And in this examination, like there are multiple options are given. So if you have known that like accounting standard 2 related to what, accounting standard 3 related to what, accounting standard 9 related to what, then this question, these kind of the questions, that may be so easier for you. Okay. And in this examination, that you are going to get the questions in the form of the match of the followings, where the multiple options are given and the multiple statements are given, and you have to find out like which option can just match the best to the statement. Okay, so that would be kind of the questions that ask in the examination. So that means you have to just know about like what accounting is standard related to which category. Okay, so which accounting standard related to government grants? Right answer, that is accounting standard 9. That would be your correct. Okay, so accounting standard 9 actually related to your government grants. All right. And if I'm talking about accounting standard 2 related to what? Anybody can tell me, because we actually discussed this. So it is related to valuation of inventories. All right. Okay, accounting standard 3 related to which? That is cash flow statements. Accounting standard 3 relates to cash flow statement. Accounting standard 10 relates to, that is fixed assets. Okay, the correct answer, that is accounting standard 9. So which accounting standard related to government grant? The answer should be, that is accounting standard 9. Okay, so in the examination, maybe you are going to get in this form like valuation of inventories given here and the fixed asset given here, and you have to just match of the followings. So that kind of the questions you may get. So you should just understand accounting standard, like all the accounting standard you should just memorize. Okay, next question, and this question is a very important question, and this question you have to tell me. Okay, because we actually done like trial balance questions in the previous session as well as before the previous sessions. We actually done these kind of the questions. So just tell me what would be the answer of this. That is discount amounting to 100 rupees allowed by the creditors. Okay, what we understand by the debtors and what we understand by the creditors. Anybody can tell me what we understand by the debtors and the creditors? Anybody can tell me? So, whenever we're talking about like debtor and creditor, so what we understand by the debtor and creditor. So, suppose that this is a person X and this is a person Y, all right. And if I'm talking about like the X is a debtor and Y is a creditor, okay. Suppose that means X is actually taken the goods, or you can also say that X taken the goods on the credit from the Y, or it may be the money from the Y. Okay, so because that's why he is considered as a debtor, because he actually taken the goods on the credit from the Y. Okay, so if the question is, that's why he is considered as a debtor and he is considered as a creditor with respect to each other. Okay, so if the question is discount amounting 100 rupees allowed by creditors, look, there are two terms that you have to understand. The one term that is discount allowed, and another term that is discount received. Okay, so discount allowed and discount received. If I'm talking about like a debtor, okay, so how debtor, for debtor, if the question is like discount amounting 100 rupees allowed by the creditors, so for debtor it is actually the discount received. Suppose that this debtor actually taken the goods of the 500 rupees on credit from the Y, for example. Okay, so that means that creditors actually allowed discount of the 100 rupees. That means this purchase that is of the 500 rupees, that would actually be the of the 400 rupees, because it is discount allowed by the creditors, and meanwhile it would be the discount received by the debtor. Okay, all right. So discount received, actually it is understandable as a gain for the debtor, isn't it or not? Okay, so it is actually the gain for the debtor. All right, so whenever we're talking about like anything that is discount amounting 100 rupees allowed by the creditors was posted into debit side. Now just tell me, if I'm talking about the trial balance, and we know that on the debit side and the credit side, what we keep on the debit side, we actually just consider the assets, expenses, all right. So that all thing we actually keep on the debit side, and on the credit side we actually keep the liabilities, revenue, income, and any kind of the gains. Okay, so we keep on the credit side. So if I'm talking about like this is our debit side and this is our credit side, and it is just discount received by the debtor. Okay, so we're talking about the debtor right now. So discount received by the debtor here, that means it is a kind of the gain. Okay, so that's why it would be posted on this side, isn't it? Just tell me, if I'm talking, look, this is a very important question and you have to understand with the basic, so that you can not able to do this kind of the questions, but also you can do the very 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 tricky type of the questions as well in the examination. Okay, so if I'm talking about like this is the debit side and this is the credit side for the trial balance, and this is also debit and this is also credit. Okay, so what exactly happened? Look, what should be the look, what exactly happened here, that exactly happened here, which is actually the wrong. That is 100 rupees, that is discount amounting of the 100 rupees, that is by the creditor, was posted into debit side. So by mistake it is actually posted into debit side, but the correct entry what should be, that is 100 rupees should be posted into the credit side, so that entry should be correct. Okay, so now how we can rectify this, how we can rectify this entry? Look, we how to rectify this? Just make the debit and credit here. Look, first we have to just credit 100 rupees here to nullify this mistake. All right, that means we have to 100, we have to just post the 100 rupees on the credit side. That is the first thing. Okay, and after that, after nullifying this mistake, we actually have to post this 100 rupees on the credit side. That means we actually have to post the 100 rupees on the credit side. Okay, so the question is, by how much amount will the total of the credit side of the trial balance increase? So your answer should be, that is plus 200. That would be your answer. The correct answer will be the B. Okay, this is a very important and this is a very good question for your examination. Okay, So I'm hoping that you are going to understand this. The very first thing that you have to do, first make the wrong entry. No, whenever you're going to solve the questions of the rectification of the entry, the very first thing you have to do, first thing that you have to write the wrong transaction. After that, you have to write what should be the right transaction, and the third entry, first nullifying the wrong entry, and after that what would be the correct entry, and that would be the summation of all of the things for the third step. Okay, so your answer should be 200 for this question, right? Next question. A transaction is not recorded in the books. This is error of. Tell me what is the answer of this? The correct answer, that is error of omission. Okay, so error of omission is actually understandable as when you actually forget to record particular transaction, and every transaction actually has a two no every transaction actually affect the two accounts. One account should be debited and another account that should be credited. So you may exactly, or you can also can understand, you may can partially, or you may completely forget to record the transaction. So what kind of the error that is? That is error of the omission. Okay, so whenever you actually forget to record, or if any transaction is not recorded in the books, so that is the error of your error of omission. So this is also very helpful to understand. Okay, so suppose if, for example, if I say, suppose that in the debit side, this is the debit side and this is the credit side for any transaction. Okay, so 500 should be debited and 500 should be credited for that. Okay, but by mistake, if you forget to record partial transaction, suppose that you only recorded the 500 but you forget to record this 500 on the debit side, so that is also called the error of omission. And by mistake, you actually forget to complete, or completely you forget to record the transaction, so then it is also understandable as an error of the omission. Okay, so this is a very important to understand. Next question. A balance sheet discloses the financial position of an entity. Okay, so whenever we're talking about like any balance sheet discloses the financial position of an entity, so the question is all about the when. Okay, so when balance sheet discloses the financial position of an entity and multiple options are given, the very two important thing you are going to understand when you are going to read in the module C, that is the first thing, that is how to make the profit and loss account and how to make the balance sheet. Okay, so like whenever we talk about the balance sheet actually, balance sheet actually describe the like financial position of any company. Okay, so whenever we're talking about the balance sheet actually describe the financial position of any organization. Okay, and it is just disclosed at a particular point of time. Okay, so your answer should be, that is B, for a particular point of time. That would be your answer. Okay, so for a particular point of time, we actually say that, like whenever you are just going to understand how to make the balance sheet, so balance sheet actually as on the date you prepare. Okay, so it is just as on the date whenever you are just going to understand the balance sheet, so that would be as on the date. Okay, so at a particular point of the time, that would be your correct answer for this question. Okay, I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. Next question. A profit and loss account is prepared. Okay, and now this is also very important. We understand about the balance sheet actually describe the financial, or say balance sheet actually tells the financial position of any company, any organization, any business. Okay, and it is on the, it is just it is just prepared as on the date. Okay, or you can also say that as on a particular time, right? So a profit loss account is prepared, like the multiple options given for a certain period on a fixed date at a particular point of time. So the correct answer, that should be for a certain period. Okay, so whenever we're talking about a profit and loss account that is prepared, so it would always be for a certain period. Whenever we're talking about the balance sheet, it would be as on the date, or say as at a particular point of the time. Okay, I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. Okay, next question. a bank reconciliation statement is prepared by? This is a very important and this is a very favorite question of the examiner. A bank reconciliation statement is actually prepared by the customer, by which he actually able to, he actually able to find out the difference between the cash book and passbook and just reconcile the cash book balance to the passbook balance. That is actually the purpose of the bank reconciliation statement. And what we understand by the reconciliation or say reconcile actually means to make harmony with. Okay, so that means cash book to, like, to make harmony with, like if I'm talking about the cash book, so to make harmony with the passbook balance. Okay, so if there is some mismatch occurring between the cash book balance to the passbook balance, so we have to reconcile that. So that is a bank reconciliation statement and it is actually prepared by the customer. Okay, and you always have to understand that passbook is also known as the bank statement. Okay, so that is also known as a bank statement. Okay, so by BRS, that is prepared by the customer. Next question. Next question is also very important. That is, in the examination, you're going to get multiple questions that is related to journal entry, like some questions that is also about from like how to make the debit and credit transactions, and the multiple questions you are going to get from these kind of the concept. Okay, so how to, how to make the debit and credit transactions, we are going to understand in this session. So sale of goods to Mr. A for cash. So whenever we're talking about like any sale is actually happened, so sale of goods to Mr. A for cash. Okay. So there is a one important thing that you have to understand. There are that first you have to analyze the two transactions that would be involved here. The first, the first account that would be involved here, that would be the sales account, and another account that may be involved here, that is cash account. Okay, if the question would like sale of goods to Mr. A on credit, so like what account, which accounts would be involved here, that is first is sale and another one that is Mr. A account. But here the cash is involved, so we just included here that is cash account as well as the cash sales account. Okay, now the very important question, that which account should be debited and which account should be credited. Okay, so how to recognize that? This is a very this is a very easy to understand if you understand with the basic, right? So whenever we are talking about the sale, it is definitely because if I'm talking about any transaction that actually affect two account, one account should be debited and another account should be credited. And if you are able to recognize any one account that should be or get debited or credited, then other account definitely would be the opposite of that. Okay, so suppose that if I'm talking about sale is done, okay, and this is actually prepared by the like sale of goods to Mr. A for cash. So if I'm talking about that sale is actually happened, so sale actually generate what? Sale actually generate the income. Okay, and if I'm talking about it is generating the income, so for the nominal account, says debit all the expenses and credit all the income. That means sales account should be credited, and if the sales account should be credited, that means cash account should be debited. Okay, so this is how we actually make the debit and credit entry. Okay, you can also do for the cash. Suppose that sale is happening in any organization, and if I'm talking about like this is A and this is B, and sale is done by the A. Okay, and if the sale is done by the A, that means cash would be come to the business, come to the organization. So cash would actually coming in for the selling. Okay, if I'm talking about, that means cash is coming in. If the cash is coming in, that means cash is actually belongs to real account category. For what? Because cash comes in the category of the assets, and all assets comes into the real account category. So for real account category, it says that debit all the debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So whatever is just going to come in, you have to debit that, and whatever is just going to out, you have to credit that. But in that scenario, actually cash is coming in. So that's why we have to understand that cash account will be debited and sales account will be credited. You can just do this kind of the question in the both way. Okay, you only have to analyze only one account, that it should be debited or credited. I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. Next question. Just do it by your side and just tell me how to solve these kind of the questions. Suppose that the question is purchase of the goods from Mr. X for cash should be credited to. Now again, there would be two accounts involved. The first account, that would be the purchase account, and another one account, that is a cash account. All right. And if just tell me if the purchase of goods from Mr. X for cash should be credited to, that means you, if I'm talking about this is A and this is B, and A has done actually purchase. Okay, purchase and for the cash, that means cash is actually going out from the business. And if the cash is actually going out from the business, that means for the real account, the golden rule of the accounting says debit what comes in and credit what goes out. That means cash account should be credited and purchase account should be debited. Okay, so that's why your answer should be here, that is cash account. Okay, so cash account would be credited here, that would be your answer. I'm hoping that everyone just understand this concept, and this is a very important concept, and I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. Okay, so if you're liking our efforts, liking our content, do not forget to like this video and share this video to your friends, your colleagues, so that maximum number of our bankers can join with us and can grow our family of the officers under 247. And now I'm just going to show you how you can enroll in our batches so that you just do not need to pay the full amount while enrolling in any kind of the batch. Okay, so what you exactly have to do, you just have to visit the adda247.com, where you are just going to get multiple courses, and you have to just click on the JIB CIB section and just go to the JIB. And after that, there are multiple batches that is actually just running, and some batches that is going to start, so just hurry up for that. And if I'm talking about like this batch, okay, and this batch is actually the batch with the books, where you are going to get a physical Macmillan books. Okay, because we are now official partner of the Macmillan. So if I'm talking about like this batch, okay, and this batch is going to start from the 16th of April, like you can just see here. Okay, and there are study plan is also given. So what you exactly have to do, you have to go to the buy now section, and in the buy now section, you have to apply the code, that is Y422. And Y4, with the Y422 code, you are able to get this is at very minimal price. Okay, so you can see that you just do not have to pay the full amount, and uh, just grab this opportunity, because your batch is just, your class is going to start very soon, and like in this week. So just do not forget to enroll the batches. Okay, so thanks for joining me here, thanks for attending this class, and now we will meet on the tomorrow at the same time. Okay, so thank you for